Hi, my name is Matt Birskovich, and I am a vintage senior at Cal State Fullerton, much like a good aged wine. I've been at Cal State Fullerton since 1999, and I'm studying classical guitar performance in the music department, which I will hopefully graduate from as of next spring. I've been in Orange County, as I've said, for the past 6 years, and right now I live in Orange with my dog, Nassau. Great dog. I'm doing a lot of music projects right now. Most of them revolve around the electric guitars, which is what I started on when I was younger, and which I think I have a bit more skill than I do on the classical guitar, but that's why I'm studying here at Cal State. I'm in about 4 projects that are working right now. One of them is a cover band that gigs almost every weekend called the BBC. Keep your eyes out for that. We gig a lot and we put on a pretty good show. So come on out if you see ads for that. I had an interesting start because when I went to my 9-month well baby checkup, I was diagnosed with retinoblastoma, which is cancer of the retina in both eyes. And it was so far advanced in one that it had to be removed within a week. I was in surgery within a week of being diagnosed. The second eye they tried to save with a variety of treatments. None of them worked, and it was taken from me when I was 21 months old, and I have been blind ever since. Actually, the eyes that you are perhaps looking into are prosthetics. So I grew up, and when I was 4 years old, up till then I had gone to a visually impaired preschool, then I was mainstreamed and continued going to normal elementary schools, and we moved to Los Gatos in the Bay Area, near San Jose. Went through high school, decided where I wanted to go to school, but when I graduated high school, I decided to get a guide dog, much due to the influence of my mother, who was scared of her little boy going all the way to the East Coast all by himself and being blind, even though she was very supportive of me growing up. So I went to San Rafael, California to get my dog, Nassau. Now I've had Nassau for 10 years. He's coming up on his 12th birthday in December, actually. So I started playing classical guitar really seriously when I came to Cal State, and have been playing since then. And it's been wonderful. It's really taught me a lot about how to practice and how to really make my technique better.
I was a little concerned about it before we started because I'd never worked with a blind student. But once we got going, I just found that it's like working with anybody else with just a couple of different considerations, you know, as far as trying to just help him be more accurate on the guitar.
It's been really great. But I've also really continued playing in bands and making that a big focus in my life.
I met Matt through a mutual friend about a year and a half ago or so, and my friend had always built up how good of a guitar player he was, good sense of humor and stuff like that. So 4 months ago, we axed our old guitar player, got rid of him, and I gave Matt a call after we did a couple auditions. Nobody was really gelling with us, and I thought it'd be really kind of an interesting experience learning how to play with him, because we can't really communicate through looking at each other. So anyway, it's been actually really easy as far as playing with him, because he does a lot of things leading up musically that are really easy for me to follow, and vice versa. So we haven't really ran into any problems even since day one.
Meeting people through the recycler, I was meeting all sorts of people and taking lots of calls, and a lot of people said I sounded like somebody they really, really wanted to work with. And at first, I didn't know what kind of approach I wanted to use as far as telling them that I was blind. So I would wait until they were going to come out to jam or whatever, and then I would lay it on them and be like, hey, you know, when they were about to get there and calling, I'd be like, look for the blind guy, you know, and they'd laugh at first. But then when I actually would go out, there was 2 instances. One, I actually went out to get the guy from where he parked and lead him into my apartment. And when he realized I was actually blind, he didn't say anything. He just left. sometimes being blind is a good thing in terms of music, in that I think that my ear is really developed. I mean, I learn all my music by ear. Ever since the beginning. I started with Soul Asylum songs and U2 and all sorts of stuff like that, and now it's jazz and funk and anything else that I play and am interested in learning about. So I think my ear is really developed maybe a little bit more quickly than somebody else's. And I think also being blind, it's kind of let me be maybe a little bit more humble, hopefully, of a guitarist than I might be, because knowing that some people have a really hard time, you know, working with a blind musician, and knowing that I'm not a genius like Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles, it means that whenever people overlook the blindness and it's not a big issue, it makes me very grateful for it. And maybe that's kind of a strange way of looking at it, but I'm always very grateful for people helping me out and getting me around and stuff like that, and teaching me so much.